Hey guys, Miss Terrell here. I want you to check out my cute little puppy Hoover. She's not really a puppy. She's 12 years old. Night, Silas. Love you. She is 12 years old, and notice she's a white version of Miss Faulkner's dog, Baby Huey. All right, if I do some more videos for you, you'll learn more about sweet little Hoover. All right, the first thing I want you to do is pause the video and label this number line just like you did on the big number line so you have it at the top of your paper. Once you've gotten all this labeled from the square root of 9 up to the square root of 100 and across the bottom from 3 to 10, then I want you to turn the video back on. All right, now that you have your number line filled in, we're going to do the first example. It says use the values on your number line to estimate the location of the square root of 27. All right, so we want to find where the square root of 27 is on the top part of your number line. Since it has a square root around it, we're going to look at the top of your number line and find out where that's going to be. All right, so if I look all the way down here, it would land a little bit past the square root of 25, but before the square root of 36. Okay, so it's between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. Now, all right, so the second part says, but the square root of 27 is closer to, and we would fill in the square root of 25. Because when you look at it on the number line, 27 is closer to 25 than it is to 36. All right, now there's some other blanks, or you might have to fill it in down at the bottom. What you also want to do is simplify the square root of 25. So your final answer is going to look like this. 5 is less than 27 is less than the square root of 36 is equal to 6. So all this means is that the square root of 27 is between the two integers, and write this down, between the integers 5 and 6. The square root of 27 is between the integers 5 and 6. All right, okay, so example 3 says use the values on your number line to estimate the location of the square root of 40. All right, so square roots are across the top of your number line. So come up here, find between which two numbers square root of 40 would be. Here it is, a little bit past 36, way before 49. So we're going to fill in the square root of 36. Is less than the square root of 40, is less than the square root of 49. But the square root of 40 is closer to, all right, so which number is it closer to, 36 or 49? So that would be closer to the square root of 36. Now simplifying, we're going to come down here, square root of 36. Stuart, what's the square root of 36? 6. 6. Is less than the square root of 40, is less than the square root of 49. Ava, what's the square root of 49?
7.
Thank you. All right, but square root of 40 is closer to, all right, the square root of 36 is 6. All right, so square root of 40 is between 6 and 7, but closer to 6. All right, next one. Square root of 30. Okay, we've got to find that on the top number line, top part of the number line. 30. Okay, that's going to fall after 25 and before 36. So we would fill in square root of 5. Now, simplify the next number here. That's a little messy looking here. Let's see if we can fix that. Doesn't want to erase. All right, we'll try that down here. All right, the square root of 25 is 5, is less than the square root of 30, and the square root of 36 is 6. but it is closer, the square root of 30 is closer to 5. All right, so square root of 30 is between 5 and 6, a little bit closer to 5. All right, now for this next one, I want you to solve this one, and then when you're finished, raise your hand so we can come and check this for you. Raise your hand so we can check it. All right, now on this next set of problems, I want you to extend your number line in the negative direction. All right, so we have 0, and we're going to extend it back here. All right, so we're going to add in -1, -2, -3, and -4. Now above these we want to put in their square root numbers. All right, so we'd have negative square root of 1 on the top, negative square root of 4, negative square root of 9, and negative square root of 16. Now, let's look at another way you're going to see this problem asked. It says, find the 2 consecutive integers between which the square root falls. All right, so for this one, we're actually going to do number 2 first. All right, so if we look at number 2, we have the square root of 127. So what you want to do is you're going to try to find where is the square root of 127 on your number line. All right, so now on your number line, you're going to have to look at the one on your paper, the big one, because this one on the paper does not go up this high, but I can add it in here real quick. We have 100. 11 squared is 121, and 12 squared, we'd have 144. All right, so if I'm going to try to locate the square root of 127 between 2 consecutive integers, the integers are these numbers on the bottom part. Okay, so I want my answer to have only the numbers on the bottom part of the number line. All right, so from the top of the number line, I've got to figure out where is the square root of 127. All right, so it comes up here. And it is after 121, but before 144. So that means it's between the 2 integers on the bottom of the number line. It is between 11 and 12. All right, now let's get fancy over here. And we're going to change number 1. We're going to put a big negative in here. Okay, so I want you to add that negative in front of the square root of 12. And we want to figure out where that is on the number line. All right, so it's a square root number, so I'm going to have to look on the top of the number line. All right, so I have negative square root of 1, negative square root of 4, negative square root of 9. There it is. It's going to be between the square root of 9 on the negative direction and the negative square root of 16. So then I find the corresponding integers are down here on the bottom. The integers are on the bottom. And that says it is falling between -3 and -4 on the number line. Now, if they ask you to write the smaller number first, you would say it's between -4 and -3. Both are correct, but sometimes they ask you to write the smaller number first. All right, so I want you to try to locate the next 2. Try these 2. Try 3 and 4. And then you want to raise your hand. So you're going to try to find where is the square root of 245. It's between blank and blank. And you want here just the integers. So just the numbers on the bottom of your number line. All right, so pause the video, use your big number line to find those, and then raise your hand for us to check. All right, so for our final 2 examples here, it says, without using your calculator, place the following numbers on the number line below. Square root of 16, square root of 9, square root of 11, and 3.5. All right, so here's a number line, or part of a number line. We only have the numbers 3 and 4. So the first thing I want you to do is we're going to fill in some other numbers on here. So let's say we have to go right to the middle. All right, what would this value halfway between 3 and 4 be? All right, let's say that would be exactly 3.5. Halfway between, okay? You're estimating, where's halfway between? All right, now notice that's one of the numbers that you're asked to put on the number line. Okay, so you're going to label 3.5, put a dot, and that is where the value is. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Square root of 16. What is the square root of 16 equal to? It's equal to 4. All right, so we can come down here. We have 4, and we can also say that is equal to the square root of 16. All right, next one, square root of 9. All right, square root of 9, let's see, that would be 3. So we're going to come over here. The square root of 9 is above the 3. All right, for the last one, the square root of 11. All right, so let's see, we have 9 under the square root, 16 under the square root. So the square root of 11, that's going to be closer to 9, so we're just going to estimate where that would be. Okay, so I'm going to guess it's about here, closer to the square root of 9, farther from the square root of 16. All right, number 2, place the following list of numbers in their approximate location on the number line. All right, so when I have all these square roots and I'm trying to figure out where they go without my calculator, I want to know what the corresponding values are of square roots above these integers. All right, so if I have the integer 3, I want to write up here the corresponding square root. So that would be the square root of 9. All right, the corresponding integer for 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. So that would be the square root of 16. All right, 5. The corresponding square root, 5 times 5, the square root of 25. And we can just keep going. Square root of 36. All right, for 7, that would be the square root of 49. And for 8, 8 times 8, that's going to give us the square root of 64. Okay, so if you're finding them, you want to list them. List those corresponding square root values above your integer values. All right, now let's figure out where they are. Square root of 32, okay? That's on the top of my number line right now. Where's square root of 32? After 25, closer to 36. So I'm going to estimate square root of 32 is about right here. Closer to the 6 than the 5. All right, square root of 12. All right, so I'm looking across the square roots at the top. So we have 9 and 16. 12 falls in between here, closer to 9. So somewhere maybe about right here would be the square root of 12. All right, square root of 27. Where's that going to be? Oh, it's 2 numbers past 20. Oh, it's right here. All right, closer to 25, so I can scoot it in here. Farther from 32, so you have square root of 27. All right, now you've got 3 more. You want to put these on the number line and then raise your hand again so we can check. Okay, so raise your hand when you're done. All right, guys, hope you've learned a lot here, and when you're done this, we're going to give you something else to practice. All right, take care.